Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, stood an ancient banyan tree as old as time itself. Its sprawling branches reached towards the sky like gnarled fingers, providing shade to all who sought refuge beneath its canopy. High up on one of its sturdy limbs was a tiny bird-esque nest, woven from twigs and lined with soft moss, and within this nest, nestled among fluffy feathers, lived a family of 4. There was Mama Bird, Papa Bird, and their 3 baby birds, all chirping and fluttering with life. The eldest was a girl named Tweet, followed by her brother, the calm and collected Chirp. And then there was the youngest, a ball of vibrant energy who was aptly named Little Birdie. Little Birdie was the tiniest of the 3 chicks, but what he lacked in size, he made up for in enthusiasm and spirit. His days were filled with boundless energy as he tumbled and played with his siblings, his laughter echoing through the leafy branches of their home. Little Birdie had big, curious eyes that sparkled with mischief and a heart full of dreams. Every day he would perch at the edge of the nest, gaze at the endless expanse of the sky and declare, "One day I will fly so high above the clouds, over the tall mountains and across the wide river, I will explore the entire world." His siblings often joined him in his daydreams, but Mama Bird would usually chirp, "You are still too little to venture out. You are still too little to venture out into the big world. The sky is vast and sometimes dangerous. There are hawks and storms to be wary of. And besides, the cat prowls below our tree, always on the hunt for a tasty snack." Little Birdie, though, never seemed to heed his mother's warnings. Instead, he would flap his tiny wings with determination and proclaim, "I am not afraid. I may be small, but I am brave. One day soon, I will show the whole world how brave Little Birdie can be." His siblings shook their heads at his antics, but secretly, they, too, longed to spread their wings and soar through the limitless expanse of the sky. Life in the cozy confines of the bird's nest continued. The chicks grew, learning the ways of the sky from their parents and dreaming of the day when they, too, would be free to roam the heavens. Then one sunny afternoon, Mama and Papa Bird decided to go out in search of food. Before leaving, they gave their babies one last warning. "Behave yourselves," Mama Bird chirped, "and don't even think about opening the door. Stay safe inside until we return." With that, they took flight, leaving the 3 chicks alone in the nest for the first time. At first, everything was fine. Tweet and Chirp stayed close to each other, whispering stories and jokes, while Little Birdie couldn't contain his excitement. He hopped from one end of the nest to the other, his heart pounding with anticipation. "This is it," he whispered, "my chance to show them how brave I can be." He tiptoed to the edge of the nest and peeked outside. The coast seemed clear. Taking a deep breath, he flung open the nest door and perched on the edge, his wings trembling slightly. "It's time," he chirped. "Time for me to start exploring the world." Without another word, he launched himself into the air. For a moment, he felt the wind beneath his wings and the sun on his back. He was flying. A wide grin spread across his face as he soared higher and higher. But then, oh dear, his stomach lurched. The ground seemed to drop away beneath him, and he realized he was unquite ready to fly just yet. Panic surged through him and he began to fall. Just when he thought he might plummet to the ground, he felt a sudden jolt as he landed on something soft and squishy. Shaken and slightly dazed, he opened his eyes to see that he had landed in a patch of thick, lush grass. Blinking away his fright, he noticed that the fall hadn't hurt him at all. And looking up, he saw Tweet and Chirp circling above him, their voices filled with worry. "Oh, Little Birdie, are you all right?" they cried. "We were so worried you might have been hurt." "Relieved to be okay," Little Birdie chirped back. "I'm fine, really. I just need to try again. This time, I promise, I'll be more careful." But as he tried to take off again, he felt a sharp pain in his wing. Looking down, he saw that a thorn had pricked him during the fall. And with that, his dream of flying solo seemed to crumble along with his wounded wing. Just then, a gentle voice broke through his despair. "Well, hello there, little bird. Did you fall from your nest?" Turning around, little Birdie saw an 80-year-old boy with kind eyes and a warm smile. "Can you help me get back to my nest?" the boy asked, extending his hand. Little Birdie hesitated, unsure whether to trust this strange creature that walked on two legs instead of two wings. But the boy's gentle demeanor and reassuring smile put the little bird at ease. Cautiously, little Birdie hopped into the palm of the boy's hand, and as the boy cradled him gently, he noticed a tiny tear rolling down little Birdie's cheek. "Don't worry," the boy whispered, his voice soft as velvet. "I won't let any harm come to you. I'm Rafi, and from now on, I'm your friend. I promise to help you heal and fly again." And so began an unlikely friendship between a young boy and a plucky little bird. Rafi carried little Birdie back to his home, where his mother had prepared a cozy bed of soft cotton in an old shoebox. Rafi named this special place Little Birdie's Cottage. Every afternoon after school, Rafi would rush to Little Birdie's cottage, bringing him seed, water, and juicy worms he found in the garden. During these visits, Rafi would talk to Little Birdie about his day at school, the funny games he played with his friends, and the beautiful kite he wanted to build one day. Little Birdie, in turn, would listen intently, occasionally chirping a few words of his own or gently nuzzling Rafi's hand with his beak. As days turned into weeks, Little Birdie slowly regained his strength, his wing healed, and his fear of flying slowly faded away, replaced by a renewed determination to soar through the sky. One day, as Rafi entered Little Birdie's cottage, he noticed his little friend flapping his wings with newfound vigor. "Do you want to try flying again?" Rafi asked, his eyes shining with excitement. Little Birdie nodded vigorously, his heart pounding with anticipation. Together, they stepped out into the open field near Rafi's house. With a deep breath, Rafi gently tossed Little Birdie into the air. At first, Little Birdie struggled, but then something amazing happened. He began to fly, not as gracefully as some birds, but with a joy and freedom that only comes from embracing one's dreams. As Little Birdie circled higher and higher in the sky, Rafi watched with admiration and pride. Meanwhile, Little Birdie's parents had not given up hope. Every day they returned to the banyan tree, hoping to find their lost baby. One day, as they soared through the familiar sky, they spotted a small group of children playing in a field, and among them, to their utter joy, they saw Little Birdie. Overjoyed, Mama and Papa Bird swooped down to greet their long-lost baby. "Oh, Little Birdie, we've been searching for you everywhere," Mama Bird cried, nuzzling him with her beak. "We were so worried we might never see you again." Little Birdie chirped happily, explaining how he had befriended Rafi and learned to fly again under his guidance. "But now I want to fly back to the nest," he added, glancing at Rafi, who stood watching them with a sad smile. Understanding their son's desire to return home, Mama and Papa Bird turned to Rafi, their eyes filled with gratitude. "We are eternally grateful to you, dear Rafi, for taking care of our son and helping him heal. You have shown him and us the true meaning of kindness and courage." Moved by their words, Rafi nodded, his heart full. He knew that their friendship had brought him as much happiness as it had brought Little Birdie. And so, with a mix of sadness and joy, they said their tearful goodbyes. Little Birdie nestled in the crook of his mother's wing as she cradled him close, promising to tell him stories of his adventures as they flew back to their home in the banyan tree. From that day on, Little Birdie lived happily with his family in the cozy confines of their nest. His days were filled with the joy of flying, exploring the world beyond their tree, and sharing his adventures with Rafi whenever he visited. Little Birdie never forgot the kindness of the young boy who had saved him and nurtured his dreams, and Rafi, in turn, cherished the memory of his feathered friend, whose bravery and optimism had touched his heart and taught him the true meaning of friendship. The end.